Hello, this is Zeeba Hashmi. I'm the founder of Ibtidah, a platform that is working on health and education perspectives across Pakistan. Today, I'm going to talk about an issue that is very close to our hearts, and that is of forced conversions and how the minorities are affected by it. On 16th November, I was invited by Senator Anwarul Haq Kakar, the chairperson of the Parliamentary Committee working on protecting minorities from forced conversion, to its important meeting held at the parliamentary lodges. I am thankful to the Senator for allowing me to present my findings, which I and my colleague Rabbia Arshad Turkmani worked on to highlight the barriers to education that minorities face as a result of forced conversions. I am also very grateful to Mr. Kakar for patiently hearing my appeal to consider our recommendations to ensure continuation of education of minority girls, confidence building of the communities, and rehabilitation of the victims. Our recommendations were officially submitted to the committee, and we were given assurances that the education aspect would be considered while they legislate on protection of minorities. During the meeting, I observed that there was a problem of understanding on how forced conversions should be defined. There was a sense propagated that the definition should not carry the economic implications or the economic conditions that come attached with religious conversions. Senator his view was that it would conflate the real issue of girls of minor age getting sexually exploited through force and violence. However, it was also noteworthy that he further gave the task of defining forced conversions to the Council of Islamic Ideology. Now, there are two things that raise many a question as to who should be defining forced conversions. First is if the Council for Islamic Ideology really should have the mandate to define forced conversions, which is clearly an issue of the minorities and not Muslims, and especially because there are no minorities present in this council. And secondly, we should consider if the assumption is correct that the consideration of economic implications would conflate the issue of forced conversions where girls become victims of sexual crimes. Here, I would like to express that the economic coercion should be considered while defining forced conversions, especially because in Sindh, most of the victims of forced conversions belong to the landless peasants of Dalit Hindu communities who work as bonded labor of influential and powerful landlords or the clerics. Often it has been observed that women or girls are exchanged for loan forgiveness. It has also been seen that many farmers were asked to recant their religion to have their loans forgiven. This is clearly an act of coercion that defines the power dynamics here. We must also not forget that Pakistan is one of the earliest signatories of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, Article 18 of which states clearly that everyone has a right to freedom of thought, conscience, religion. This right also includes freedom to change his religion or belief. Pakistan also ratified International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights to which it is bound to comply. The Article 18 of this instrument comprises of four parts, first two of which carry the principles of freedom of religion and the freedom to convert. I hope that this issue of forced conversion is defined in its true self and that the definition carries all angles of not just physical violence but also economic coercion. It is also a matter of concern that intimidation of legal representatives and the victims remain unchecked. I hope that the sense prevails and our government shows the real resolve to acknowledge this problem and find better ways to protect minorities through effective implementation of laws and legislation. Thank you so much.